Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Asian, St. Lucian, carry home. We don't carry go. We carry home and make it still. Jamaican flair.
Don't you know the Jamaican style? Different flavor, yes, different vibe. Caribbean style. Different walking, talking, bus every time. Jamaican style. Different hustling, bustling, make it wild. Caribbean style. Style you've never seen before. Have you ever seen a style like this? Girls in my bubble and a wine and twist. It's fine. Rude boys rolling stiff. Select.
For real, Masapan right here, Caribbean Style TV right here on Cablevision, and also Masapan Cstyle TV on Facebook. That's Masapan Cstyle TV on Facebook. Make sure you tell your friends, your family, right? And every Sunday you can catch us on Cablevision from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Primetime Sundays. All right? So, blessed love. Watch out for Masapan on the road. That's Masapan on the road. Masapan Cstyle TV on Facebook. That's Masapan Cstyle TV on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. You want to check us out and watch out for our travels throughout the Caribbean. That's coming up since COVID seemed like it's tamping down a bit. And I got my shots and also got my booster and taking every precaution possible. We will be on the road. Blessed love to Angela. Blessed love to Rock, Aisha, my whole entire family. All right, so we're right here inside the studio, seeing, and hey, elections came up. It's an off year election, off year election, and the Republicans got a couple of seats, and right away they think it's a wave, and all everything is changed, and this and that and that and this. Pendulum swings back and forth. It does swing back and forth. Okay. And it doesn't last too long usually for the Republicans. So it doesn't last too long, And I want to say that, I'm not really against everything Republicans have. Not everything. You know what I'm saying? So I argue with my friends all the time. It's just certain things that you can't do a nod and a wink to a base or your party that does not like people like me. They really don't. Okay? They do not like people like me. All right? So, and they want to take their country back. And when they say back, it's how far back. We need progress, and we need people to move forward in a society that see each person as equal. All right? And you have a base in another party. I'm not saying it's not in the Democratic Party also, but, but more so in the Republican Party. That has a base that's pretty much anti-black, anti-immigrant. I'll say it. Yeah, they are. You know what I'm saying? They attract those kind of folks to their party, and they give them a nod and a wink. So why I want to start with something like this, because some things happen, and you have a lady named Winsome Sears. She is now the lieutenant governor in Virginia. The lieutenant governor-elect in Virginia. And why am I saying that? She's from Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica. She's in the Republican Party, of course, and the Republicans are going crazy there. This, there, that. They like doing that. They love doing that. They love having a few minority folks in their party, and then they prop them up and see that we have black folks here. We have a couple of Spanish folks here, But meanwhile, the policies they support, are devastating. A lot of their policies are devastating to me as a minority. All right. So and that's why most minorities and black folks, they support the Democrats. They're a little bit better. All right, so I'm going to start with something like this. Okay. Voice of Burning Spear. Never forget. I don't care what they say. We will never, ever forget. Okay? Yeah.
Do you remember the days of slavery? Do you remember the days of slavery?
Do you remember the days of slavery?
Do you remember the days of slavery?
Do you remember the days of slavery?
Do you remember the days of slavery?
And the peoples,
Do you remember the days of slavery?
and the work was so hard,
Do you remember the days of slavery?
and they used us
Do you remember the days of slavery?
till they refused us.
Never, ever, ever forget, no matter what no one says. I understand we look at people as people, and we're going to look at, we're not carrying any hard feelings, but why should anyone forget? I don't want a European man to forget his history. I don't want a Chinese man to forget his history. All right? So definitely working a minority, a black folk, a black man for 400 years without pay and brutalization for decades and decades and hundreds of years. All right? Why should one forget? Okay? It's not an anger thing. We're not angry. We just remember. And it makes us stronger and better so we can talk on an equal basis and we can see things for what they really, really are. Now, let me get to the point I want to make. The point I want to make is that, this lady, her name is Winsome Spears. Okay? Miss Winsome Spears. And she won the lieutenant governorship in Virginia. So that's a plus. Good thing. The problem is, and it is a problem, is the Republican Party. All right? And I want to play an interview she had. This was the night after the election. And what she said. All right? And I'm going to go through everything she said. And I'm going to show you why and tell you why. And this is somebody that endorsed Donald Trump. All right? Donald Trump and all his policies. All right? So let me play this. And then I'm going to come back and go through every single thing she says and watch how her party, right, is not really in line with her as a person. So Miss Winsome Sears, and that's her name. Okay? All right.
Lieutenant Governor win. Tell me how you felt this morning when you woke up.
Tired. Literally, because I had only slept for maybe 2 hours and here comes the media wanting to talk about the race. And I'm thinking, it feels like I'm campaigning all over again. I was losing my voice, waking up at 4 or 5 o'clock every morning and go, 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 go.
Yeah.
So where I thought I'd be able to sleep in, no, sir.
No, sir, indeed. So, obviously there's a lot of talk. You heard perhaps in the tease before our segment that you are the first woman of color, lieutenant governor of Virginia. And I thought it was very interesting last night when you just said, I'm black. If you haven't noticed, I think were your words. And then you said, but it's not about that. What did you mean by that?
Because we are framing too many issues in terms of race, and it just continues to divide us. And unfortunately, politicians are using it as a tool because of the things that have happened to us historically to advance, I would think, their nefarious purposes. And so if we stop.
Okay, so what she said is that politicians are using race as a tool. Who did that more than Donald Trump and the current Republican Party? All right, in her race, they demonized Tony Morrison. They did. with Beloved, the book Beloved, okay? And they use that. Look what they're teaching our kids in our school, you know? And the book is it's not a crazy book, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's, all politicians does that. But the Republican and Donald Trump amped that up 50-fold. He did that. He kowtowed to the racists, and that's what he did. All right, so there's no secret about that. So let's continue.
Just looking at race and just looking at people. Because you see, I'm destroying all the narratives about race. Look at me. Look at me. I am a heartbeat away from the governorship in case anything happens to the governor. And how are you going to tell me then I'm a victim? And I didn't do anything special to get here except stay in school and study. I took advantage of the opportunities. They're available here in America. I wasn't born here. This is not my culture, not my country, but it allowed me, America allowed me to come and do for myself and for my family. And I remember when I was one.
Okay, so that's you know, true. You could come here, and in these times now, and there's some opportunities here. That is correct. We've made some advancement. All right, but you endorsed a candidate, somebody who wanted to send the army on the border, a candidate who wanted to. You're from Jamaica. You endorsed a candidate, a president that wanted to stop legal immigration. That's correct. Your president and your party wanted to stop legal immigration, meaning that your father or grandfather came here and they you know, and they couldn't file for you to bring you here so you could get an education and go to school here. All right, Stephen Miller, Donald Trump, those are the policies they wanted to put in place. All right, those are the policies they wanted to put in place. It's anti-you, and there is no way, you know, me as a minority and as a black man and anyone really in America should support anything like that. So it's anti-you. Okay, here we go.
Wanting to go to college, I had 3 children under 5. My husband took a lower paying job so he could stay home because he already had his degree. And I put one of my children on the back of a bicycle so that I could get to college. So no one can say to me, I don't know what it is to be poor. You're looking at the American dream. So we can do better. And it's not 1963 when my father came at the height of the civil rights movement, 17 days before Martin Luther King Jr. gave his I Have a Dream speech. We're better than that. We're always going to have problems. I understand that. I'm not saying we're perfect, but you can see those people at the border right now trying to get in. They're dying to get in because they know if they can put a foot on American soil, the trajectory of their lives will change just as it did for my father.
Well, I'm glad she said that, all right? Because, like I say, okay, your Republican Party, all right, don't really want those folks here. They don't want legal immigration because they're scared. They're pushing this narrative of the American society being changed, all right, being colorized, being mixed. There's nothing wrong with mix, okay? I love mix. All right, so those immigrants that you're talking about and you want to emphasize with in your party, they don't want that legal immigration. They want to stop. That means green card, your mother from Jamaica or anybody like that can't come. You can't file for them. That's what they want. All right, they want people from Norway. Trump said it. They all said it, and that's what they really want. The American society should be a mixed society. Every society really should be a mix of people. That's what I think. You know, eat each other's food and just love and cherish every single thing. So let's continue.
You know, here's what Joy Reid said last night, and I want to just get a quick response from you, if I can, over on MSNBC about the Youngkin win and your win. Watch this.
you have to be willing to vocalize that these Republicans are dangerous, that this isn't a party that's just another political party that disagrees with us on tax policy, that at this point, they're dangerous. They're dangerous to our national security, because stoking that kind of soft white nationalism eventually leads to the hardcore stuff.
Your reaction to that?
And just stop it right there. Joy Reid is right. She's absolutely right, because just a nod and a wink, okay, to that base at that party, you know, most folks are good. Most folks does not have that in them, but there's a segment of the population, it's just the hate in them, and you can't kowtow to that. And what the Republican Party does a lot, and they do it nod and wink, you know. Mr. Youngkin did it, and he did it. Okay, it was not a nod and a wink, but like a wink to the base, that racist base of that party. You know, you can't do that. You can't tolerate that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm telling you guys, that's why most African Americans and most minority avoid the Republican Party. They do, because of that nod and a wink. Nod and wink, and you kowtow to them. Donald Trump came and stirred it up even more. Okay, so we'll go back to the Republican Party. We would. You know what I'm saying? They're the original party of Abraham Lincoln. We will go back to the Republican Party. You know, stop the nod, stop the winking to that racist base, and come on out and fight for some of the things that we believe in. All right, the things that started your party, civil rights, and you know, I'm saying abolitionists and that kind of thing. Come back to that, and trust me. All right, we're back in your party, and we can all move forward. Okay, so let's continue with Miss Sears.
Miss Sears.
I wish Joy Reid would invite me on her show. Let's see if she's woman enough to do that. I'd go in a heartbeat, and we have a real discussion without Joy speaking about me behind my back, if you will. She talks about white supremacy. Does she know that I ran against a white supremacist? I mean, Joy, come on, get your facts straight, and then come talk to me. I'm waiting for you.
We hope she'll take you up on it. You have a lot to say, and a lot of people very inspired by your message last night and your win. Winsome Sears, the new lieutenant governor, when you're sworn in of the state.
Okay, so that was Winsome Sears, you know. So a lot of the points I'm trying to make is that, you know, we can't ignore certain things. We got to tamp it down. We got to tamp it down. The Jewish folks, they can't forget. They can never, ever, ever, ever forget the Nazis, okay, and the Holocaust. Don't ever forget. You know what I'm saying? The American Indians, don't forget. You don't have to hate. There is no hate, man. But recognize what happened. Recognize what happened, and we can move forward. We can move forward. We can work together if you recognize that. Just recognize it. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely no hate. I love every single body, but what I don't like people who just hate you for who you are and what you look like. You know what I'm saying? Most people are good people. Most people are good people. We can't kowtow to racists. We can't do that. We can't kowtow to hoodlums and thugs in the street. I don't do that. I don't kowtow to hoodlums and thugs. You crazy? No, not in my realm. All right. So, and I can't kowtow to racists. All right. So that's what I was saying. So blessed love, Miss Sears. You know, one of a few. You know, fellow Jamaican. We have quite a few. You know, fellow Jamaican. All the Jamaicans are always in the mix of anything, anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that is to be expected. So. Blessed love, enough honor, enough respect. Master Pen right here. Caribbean Style TV right here on Cablevision. Back to my old song. See? Yeah. I'll never forget. Ever forget. crazy?
Do you remember the days of slavery? Do you remember the days of slavery?
Do you remember the days of slavery?
Do you remember the days of slavery?
Do you remember the days of slavery?
Do you remember the days of slavery?
And the Beatles.
Do you remember the days of slavery?
And the work was so hard.
Do you remember the days of slavery?
And they used us.
Do you remember the days of slavery?
Banana.
Till they refuse us.
Do you remember the days of slavery?
Do you remember the days of slavery?
Do you remember the days of slavery?
The big fat boat. We usually pull it, we pull it. We must pull it with shackles around our necks. Leave me hand, we sit so close.
My poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Anthony B and the World Rebirth Rhythm sending one love to the human race. It's a reggae vibe production. Please don't judge I for the color of my skin when you look at my face. Them say me walk different and talk different. Just because I'm black, them say me look different and act different. Just because I'm black, as them see me, them style me as a criminal.
Anthony B, you're under arrest.
Just because I'm black, if them not talk, them do it subliminal. Just because I'm black, still I'm gonna shout it loud. Said I'm so black and proud. I'm so black and proud. Stand up in any crowd and say I'm so black and proud. I'm so black and proud. Remember Bob Marley and Marcus Garvey. They are all so black. Tupac and Peter Tosh, they are all so black. Remember Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, they are all so black. Remember Mandela and Emperor Selassie, they are all so black. So I'm gonna shout it loud that I'm so black and proud. I'm so black and proud. Stand up in any crowd and say I'm so black and proud. I'm so black and proud. And right now we're tired of police brutality, yeah, and them racist mentality. This are the wickedest sin me ever see. Them a act like we no part of humanity. Still, I can be your brother, you can be my brother, even though we both coming from another mother. Pink, purple, yellow, let me tell you fellow, everybody have a black shadow. So I'm gonna shout it loud that I'm so black and proud. I'm so black and proud. Stand up in any crowd. Say I'm so black and proud. I'm so black and proud. Them say me walk different and talk different. Just because I'm black, them say me look different and act different just because I'm black. As them see me, them style me as criminal just because I'm black. Even if them not talk, them do it subliminal just because I'm black. Still I'm gonna shout it loud that I'm so black and proud.
Primetime news this evening. Chaos reigns again. Vaccination blitz sites in disarray as thousands seek second dose of Pfizer COVID-19 vaccination. Witness in one Don trial details 2008 murder of JUTC chairman. And later, fire department probes fire at controversial Pathways Church in St. James.
Good evening and welcome to Primetime News. We're on air and online at onespotmedia.com. I'm Janella Precious. Also this evening, the business day, Primetime Sports, sports commentary, E-Prime and weather. But before the break, the feedback question. And this evening, we're asking, what are your thoughts on offering persons fast food vouchers and other inducements to get vaccinated? You can share comments online, facebook.com/Television Jamaica, and tweet us at TelevisionJam1. Stay with us. Primetime News returns after this break. Welcome back to Primetime News and a special welcome once again to our viewers on onespotmedia.com. Up first this evening, when will they get it right? The question many were asking of the Ministry of Health after chaos reigned at the vaccine site at the St. Joseph's Hospital in St. Andrew. Shamela Pullen was there and now reports.
St. Joseph's Hospital in St. Andrew. A crowd of upset citizens state their frustration to Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton.
Hold on, no. And what we're saying is we can't get everybody the same day.
They're angry because after trying to book an appointment for the COVID vaccine, they were unable to do so. We were told the Ministry of Health's online portal was malfunctioning, and so the people turned up at the vaccine site without an appointment. Many of whom we spoke with came for their second dose of the Pfizer vaccine.
I'm out here from 5 o'clock this morning. I know I can't get through. And the Prime Minister, I tell me if you come take the vaccine, and when we come, I pay foolishness.
They said that we are to make an appointment. Each time you go online, there's no way for you to make an appointment. They said on Thursday on the radio, if you don't even have an appointment, you carry your card and you come.
Why are we supposed to make another appointment when we have this already and we get the first dose? You understand? I didn't come here to get Pfizer. I come here to get a job. You understand? And it happened that I get the Pfizer. You understand? Now it's causing me problem. I'm an old dude, I'm 75 years old, and I can't, it's not filing against the post.
If you don't get through, will it be coming back?
I doubt that, I feel satisfied with the one job and make it kill me, whatever.
And my son is inside right now doing his second dose, and we did it together the first time. And now he's inside and I'm outside. And they're talking about joint line, go way out to the gate.
Regional Director for the Southeast Regional Health Authority, Errol Green, says roughly 500 people showed up without appointment.
We will be opening the arena on the weekend, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. For those persons who might be having a challenge, just wait it out and they can show up and we'll accommodate them.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton sought to explain some of the issues with the site.
Because you called at a time when today's appointments were booked, about 10,000. Listen to me. Trust me. I know. Because I don't want to inconvenience you. You have 10,000 or so people who have booked for today. You have all week. So if you can't get the appointment on Monday, then you go to Tuesday. If you can't get it Tuesday, you go to Wednesday. But what is not going to happen is that for second doses, the 80,000 people or so, cannot get it on the Monday, on the one day. It's not going to work, which is why the appointment is important.
The latest round of vaccination blitz comes a day after over 100,000 doses expired and now have to be discarded. However, the Ministry of Health is hopeful that with initiatives such as the house-to-house vaccine program, more Jamaicans will take the jab. Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
Over in St. Mary, there was unrest as scores of people who worked at the vaccine blitz in Islington say they're yet to be paid. Cody Ann Barrett has the details.
We just need the answer. How long should we wait? How long? Next year?
Residents staged a protest outside the St. Mary Municipal Corporation Monday morning demanding answers. They say they worked on September 15 and 16 at the Islington vaccination blitz and it was not voluntarily.
We all worked. We were out of our beds from 6 o'clock in the morning and nobody to answer when we are going to be paid. It is unfair. Everybody at the municipal, they receive their payment whether they are on a weekly salary, fortnight pay or monthly. They receive their pay. We need to be paid. We are not idlers.
All we need is an update to us when persons are going to get paid, because persons use their gas and they use their personal income that should send their children to school, to buy credit, to put on phone, because it's a poor community. We don't have the money, and all we need is our money that we have spent during the Islington vaccination blitz. That's all we need.
They believe the St. Mary Municipal Corporation and one councillor are responsible for the hold-up of their wages. However, the councillor for the division, Lincoln Dixon, says he's unaware of where their payment should be coming from.
At one stage I was told it's the SDC, another time I was told that it is the parish council. Then the next time I hear that it was supposed to be from the Ministry of Local Government. I honestly can't ascertain where exactly, but after speaking with the chief, she told me that it has to go to the ministry.
He added that the allegations are putting him at risk.
It's very difficult for the council to be exposed to a situation like this. You know, I'm being alienated. The last week I went to a funeral and somebody verbally attacked me, say I don't make him virgin get paid. How can I be placed in a position that I'm saying to the minister, how can you expose your councillor to this?
This afternoon, chairman of the municipal corporation, Richard Query, told TVJ News that the corporation submitted the claims to the Ministry of Health, which will dispatch the funds for the workers to be paid. Cody Ann Barrett, TVJ News.
7 additional COVID-19 deaths have been recorded for the period October 3 to October 30. The death toll is now 2,243. The COVID-19 positivity rate is now 11.5%. It comes as the country recorded 109 new cases of the virus from 1,286 test samples. The overall case count now stands at 89,123. 256 people have been hospitalized with the virus. 26 patients are severely ill, while 13 are in critical condition. There are 28,169 active cases on the island. We go now to the latest from the One Don trial. There was a bombshell revelation in the Home Circuit Court this morning. The second witness testified that the alleged leader, Andre Blackman Bryan, told him he killed former chairman of the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, Douglas Chambers. Raquel Porter has the details.
In 2016, Andre Blackman Bryan was found not guilty for the murder of former JUTC chairman Douglas Chambers. He was arrested and charged after he was pointed out in an identification parade. But one of the main witnesses in that murder trial reportedly fled the country. On Monday, however, the second witness in the One Don trial testified that Mr. Bryan showed him the firearm used to murder Mr. Chambers. He said he was told that the former JUTC chairman was shot twice in the head. Mr. Chambers was killed on Michael Manley Drive in front of the JUTC Twickenham Park office in Spanish Town, St. Catherine in September 2008. According to the witness, Mr. Bryan later sold the firearm because he did not want it to remain in Spanish Town. He further testified that a policeman from Cstyle St. Catherine assisted the gang by pointing out where Tesha Miller's mother and another individual lived. The former Don-turned-state witness also revealed that top-tier gang members met often and that the lone female accused, Stephanie Christie, did most of the talking during those meetings. He said on one occasion he was tasked with retrieving the Jamaica Constabulary Force murder statistics from the internet. He said Mr. Brand remarked that Spanish Town is the capital and that the other parishes should not be leading the murder tally. The witness also told the court that he, along with defendant Carl Beach, frequently attended People's National Party meetings. He said women would transport illegal guns to and from the events. He testified that the alleged gang leader Andre Blackman Bryan wanted to remove a skull from the body of a man that they buried. He said Mr. Bryan told him that he wanted to drink blood from the skull. The trial continues Tuesday. Raquel Porter, TVJ News.
Still to come this evening, Caribbean leaders criticize leaders of large countries at UN Climate Change Conference. And in business news, tourism sees near full recovery of UK tourist market. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. We're continuing the news. The altar of the controversial Pathways Church in St. James was destroyed by fire last night by what some had initially described as a mystery. However, after firefighters extinguished the blaze, community members told TVJ News how the fire actually started. Details in this report.
Controversy and questions escalated again Monday morning as news of a fire at the Pathways International Kingdom Restoration Ministries in Albion, St. James spread. It's understood that the blaze destroyed drapes and an air conditioning unit at the altar in the church auditorium. The location has been in the news since the dreaded October 17 ritualistic killings, the arrest of several members for breaching the Disaster Risk Management Act, the death of the group's leader, Kevin Smith, and member Andre Ruddock being charged in the death of Tanika Gardner. The church was then vandalized and robbed last week. In this latest incident, it's understood that fire was seen at the property and the police and the fire department were called to the scene.
We received a call of fire at the Pathways Church in Albion, St. James at 10:35 p.m. last night. We responded with 2 units. On arrival at the scene, we came across what seems to be or seems to have been food items and other materials that could be deemed as garbage, which were on fire inside the building, inside the church building, that is. We got into operation and extinguished the fire, and we now have investigators there trying to ascertain the cause of the fire.
While that investigation is ongoing, our news team spoke with residents in the area. A few persons who did not want to speak on record told us that the stench from the rotting meat and other food items left at the property had become so unbearable that they attempted to burn all the rotten food that was left in the building. It appears that the fire got out of control, igniting the drapes and other items in the room. In light of the ongoing stench and possible health hazard in the community, the Health Authority and the St. James Municipal Corporation have reportedly agreed to visit the location in coming days to do a proper cleaning of the property. Herman Green, TVJ News.
Caribbean leaders have lashed out against the shortcomings of large countries and economies in the global effort to combat climate change. Prime Ministers Andrew Holness and Mia Mottley of Barbados were among the speakers at the opening ceremony of the UN Climate Change Conference COP26 in Glasgow, Scotland.
While the catastrophic threat of climate change continues to loom globally, small and developing countries are expected to be among the worst impacted. The goal of the UN Climate Change Conference, therefore, is to keep the aim of limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius, as anything greater will have serious consequences. It's why at Monday's COP26 opening ceremony, Jamaica and Barbados Prime Ministers criticized the commitment of larger countries.
2 degrees, yes, SG.
is a death sentence for the people of Antigua and Barbuda, for the people of the Maldives, for the people of Dominica and Fiji, for the people of Kenya and Mozambique, and yes, for the people of Samoa and Barbados. We do not want that dreaded death sentence. And we've come here today to say, try harder.
All countries must act responsibly and with ambition to preserve our climate for current and future generations.
Among the areas of downfall highlighted was the lack of responsibility equity. Mr. Holness noted that countries that have profited from decades of carbon production have a responsibility to help other countries transition to low-carbon economies.
This was the basis of the 2009 $100 billion per year pledge, which still needs to be met if the developing world is to achieve our resilience and low-carbon emission goals.
Climate finance to frontline small island developing states declined by 25% in 2019. Failure to provide the critical finance and that of loss and damage is measured, my friends, in lives and livelihoods in our communities. This is immoral.
In addition to the gap in climate finance to small states, Prime Minister Motley believes the gaps in mitigation and climate pledges will lead to as high as a 2.7-degree increase in global warming. Herman Green, TVJ News.
Now to discuss the significance of the summit, I'm joined by Chief Executive Officer of the Jamaica Environment Trust, Dr. Teresa Rodriguez Moody. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Moody. I just want to start off by asking, why should we care about this summit?
Thanks for having me. Okay, so the issue of climate change, as we've been hearing, is a life and death situation, especially for the small island developing states like Jamaica. And this COP26 conference represents our last chance to avoid the worst effects of climate change. It's probably the most consequential environmental meeting of our lifetimes, and so it's extremely important.
Okay, now there are concerns that this is yet another talk shop. Your own views on this comment?
It's very hard to say if these conversations will yield what we have been calling for, what the small island developing states have been calling for. We're likely to hear a lot of nice speeches, which we have already started to hear, which talk about how urgent the matter is. But it's also very important to remain optimistic on this important subject matter, because without everybody working together, we just won't be able to achieve the commitments that we need to keep the temperatures below 1.5 degrees. But there's a lot of reason for pessimism, because some of our major emitters are not there, and they have fallen short in their strong commitments or in making strong commitments to cut emissions. And they have continued to fund the fossil fuel projects.
All right. Now, from where you sit, what can Jamaicans do to fight climate change?
Well, two things. When we look at mitigation, Jamaica is not a large producer of greenhouse gas emissions. And so we really haven't been a major contributor to the global problem. But we do have some industries which are major emitters, such as bauxite and the cement industry. And we should not be tying our economic future to them. And then from an adaptation perspective, we also have to focus on improving our resilience to the impacts of the climate crisis, which we're already feeling. So we have to be focused on protecting our forests, which includes our mangroves, which play an important mitigation and adaptation function. We have to be looking at not allowing the degradation of our watersheds and our rivers, transitioning to renewables. And we have to change how we build. We cannot use the past practices to plan for the future. We have to look at, that includes looking at, air conditioning, how we cool our transportation systems. We have to rethink that. And we have to think about some of our vulnerable communities and where they're located, including our infrastructure. And this doesn't complete everything, but virtually every aspect of our lives is going to be touched by climate change and its impacts. And so we really have to reimagine everything and how we operate.
Thank you so much. That was the CEO of the Jamaica Environment Trust, Dr. Teresa Rodriguez Moody. Now, as world leaders meet to discuss issues relating to climate change at the COP26, renewed calls for something to be done about beach erosion in Helsha, St. Catherine. In part one of a Primetime News special report on the climate crisis, Vashon Brown takes a look at the community on edge.
An image showing the extent of the Helsha beach erosion, the green line showing where the coastline was in 1968 and the black dotted line showing where it was in 2011. Gladstone White is the director of the Half Moon Bay Fishermen's Cooperative located at the beach. He says the erosion is making the lives of business operators miserable.
Reduce in support from outside patrons. You know, we now have less recreational space. So you find that most people is not really attracted to what is left of the recreational space here. So you find majority of our patrons now is just because of their cuisine, you know, the fishing festival that keeps them here.
Now behind me you can see the extent of the erosion here in Helsha. Now some of the vendors say over the years they've had to relocate their shops because the sea continues to eat away at the structures.
Yes, so it's kind of get deep. Because the last time we put some tires there, as you can see, some tires and stone and the water wash away everything. So, most politely, it's like we don't have any more beach. Just a water alone we have.
They say they've had to take steps to help reduce the coastal erosion.
So you see come, we step back. So you see come, we step back. So automatically now, the Half Moon Bay fisher folks, we have to stone off the area here. That we can go and carry on our livelihood. So we keep it head above the water so we won't get drowned.
The National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, says it has also been working to reduce the erosion. So what's causing all of this?
Then we always talk about this matter of climate change. Sea level rise is a emerging and serious issue that we face, and it's not only an issue at Helsha, Half Moon Bay, but there's evidence around our coastline of erosion associated, of course, with more intense hurricanes associated with climate change. We also have the issues with sea surface temperature, with climate change, and the increases in the sea surface temperature that has an impact on the health of the reef again.
No one has taken the time out, no NGO, no organization to say, okay, let us repair our reefs around the island, not only Helsha, but around the entire island.
But NEPA says efforts are being made to improve the health of the reefs across the island. In any event, the residents say more needs to be done to reduce the effects of climate change on communities.
Climate change has a factor, but if we sit and say climate change, without being proactive, what will happen is that climate change will soon devour us. We have to be proactive. You have to go out there and meet climate change. Don't sit down and say, oh, the climate change, you know.
NEPA is hoping to develop a Helsha Bay master plan by early next year. The agency says it has already started to engage international funding agencies to help with the rehabilitation of the beach. But outside of climate change, there are some human actions at play.
What's occurring on the beach, we have issues relating to the sanitation, sewage, seepage, and that impacts the water quality to some extent. Again, impacting the quality of the reefs.
Join us tomorrow when we look at the relationship between climate change and weather patterns. Vashon Brown, TVJ News.
Cablevision, seeing Master Pen right here inside the studio. See, enough love, enough honor, and enough respect. See, and thanks for tuning in every single time. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy the show so far. You know. Now I'm decided to get a little bit not really political but practical today. All right, so we got to do that sometimes, you know. And I'm really urging the Democrats in Washington. All right, push those bills, get it done, man. All right, you're probably gonna lose, the Congress or the Senate next year. So let's put that stuff through, get those bills through. Okay, all right. That in the bills that they have, Build Back Better, they have things like to lower your insurance premium. All right, I don't know what you're paying now for your insurance, $400 or $500 a family, or whatever. So there's something in there to lower that. That's a good thing, you know. Universal pre-K, your 2-3-year-olds could go to school. All right. That's a great thing. Get them, that's an early start for them. It frees you up also, because the pre-K becomes your built-in babysitter. And you could go do something else while the child is learning and socializing. So that's a really, really good thing for a lot of working mothers and working people. I remember I used to do half days. When we have half day, half day kindergarten, I used to have to run home and try to get the kid off the bus and get my son or daughter off the bus, and it was a nightmare. We had no help, and we had to juggle things, and but we got it done. It wasn't bad, so that's in the bill. Okay, that's in the bill. New wave technology, solar investment in solar and things like that, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. All right. Almost everything in this society, all right, equal opportunity, anything like that, the Lilly Ledbetter Act, all that stuff, all right, was progressive ideas. So anything in this society is usually progressive ideas. We can't remain the same, all right? So progressive ideas help some people. Union help people. The MTA union, the police union, that the cops and a lot of friend of mine are police officers, and they have a union. Things like those help people, lift people up. You know what I'm saying? Benefits, they're benefits for your child when you're in a union. You can get scholarships for them and many other perks inside a union, Minimum wage, $15 an hour, $16 an hour. Progressive ideas, all right? Progressive ideas. Guaranteed. Some of my progressive friends, are off, but most of the ideas are great. So in the bill, you'll see bridges being built. You'll see tunnels. You'll see rails, high-speed rails. You'll see internet. You'll see just new technology and modernization. All right, things for climate change. Things for so your insurance premiums. I said again, that's a big deal for a lot of people. Dental for your mother, vision, hearing aid when they get old. I'm getting to that age. That stuff I don't want to pay for. I get Medicaid Part B or something like that. So that's in the bill. All right, this will help people. All right, daycare. So you get some money for daycare for your child. Wish I had that. My kids are grown now. But I'm not envious of somebody if it could help a middle person to help them step up within the society so they could contribute to society. God bless them. All right? I missed out on it. My kids are grown, and ain't having no more. But I do not mind. All right? We just need people to step up. Everybody to step up and make this society, better than every single society. That's what we need. We need us to be progressive and just be on top of technology and everything. We gotta be there. Okay, so most of us gotta get on board. Forget about that 20, 30%, 25%, maybe 10 or less. I don't know. Of the people who want to take people back and the racism thing, and some people are racist scavengers too. You know what I'm saying? Some people just want to make money off racism. You have it in the Democratic Party too. Some people are just there and they shout, hey, discrimination or black, this, that, you know, because the people donate and they make some money and they put it in their pocket. We have those, all right? So, but progressive, that's what the society needs. Every technology where you see is usually an art form and entertainment and sports. It's usually progressive ideas and progressive people that contribute towards it. Backward thinking is not going to work. And no matter what some of those states do, this society will move forward. See? So blessed love, enough honor, and enough respect. Masapan, Cstyle TV right here on Cablevision. See? All right? So I'm going to take you out with a video. Blessed love. Saleh.
I talk what I know, I no chat what I feel. None for them no like Rasta youth, because we keep it real. You never see me with no turban for me head, but man a bubble same way, not the Congo same way. You never see me in the jungle, but man a gorilla same way. But not for them a snake in a lion clown house. Them around the church and the whorehouses. Selassie I forbid. Rasta coulda never lose and ball it way. Not for them a snake in a lion clown house. Them around the church and the whorehouse. Selassie I forbid. Rasta coulda never lose and ball it way. The good of we go suffer for the bad and never miss it. So watch out the man we gain the most knowledge of the longest liver. False prophecies with them big offices. All them do I give basket for carry water, but I have an appetite for the truth. That's why I want the youth. Cause Jaja say you are gonna know them by the fruit. Or you figure a man a gun and tell him no shoot. It's like telling him the tree don't grow from but the not for them a snake in a lion clown house. Them around the church and the whorehouses. Selassie I forbid. That's the coulda never lose and ball it way. Not for them a snake in a lion clown house. Them around the church and the whorehouse. Selassie I forbid. Rasta coulda never lose and ball it way. Alright, Chrome. So we not fabricated, some of them hate we. But tell them say we alright, the real people rate we. Tell them say we not put on no show, no need no mask. If you not want the truth, no question, you not fi ask. Selassie I know, by we self we in our class. Just show money, make enough of them last. We bought them on the journey and them will surpass. Almighty and me done, the devil are your boss. Say enough of them a snake in a lion clown house. Them around the church and the whorehouses. Selassie I forbid. Rasta coulda never lose and ball it way. Not for them a snake in a lion clown house. Them around the church and the whorehouse. Selassie I forbid. Rasta coulda never lose and ball it way. Yeah. No them still, them do it every day. All you see them a pray. Them a false prophecies. Just make false promises. Jaja see them. Yeah. Jaja know them. Left them to time. Yeah. Almighty soon overthrow them. Don't hear me out, don't hear me out. Rastafari. Positive words from my mouth. You say it without a doubt. Don't hear me out, don't hear me out. Don't hear me out, don't hear me out. Don't hear me out, don't hear me out. Hear me out. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Rastafari, no. Listen to the lyrical content. Not just pre the flow. If you know, brother Rasta, you know. Don't hear me out, don't hear me